Lacazette's flick. It's Aubameyang! Aubameyang, the beneficiary.
Morning again. This is the Military Guna back with you live. Now, I want to say thank you very much for all those persons who have subscribed, share, and always tuning into the content. Thank you very much for the support. Now, moving on, this is the Arsenal review of the Portsmouth versus Arsenal game in the FA Cup. Now, FA Cup 5th round, it was a very good match, a very telling match, and I could understand that a lot of the young guys got really good game time, and it was very good in their progression. Many Arsenal fans actually would write off the season as finished, and know this would be a testing period or a pre-season for Arteta. But I still believe there is a lot to fight for. But it will take a mighty team to even crawl into that top 5, knowing the position that we're at right now. Knowing what is happening with the club right now, I would definitely say it's a heavy task, but it is possible. It's definitely possible. Heavy task, but possible. Alright, so moving into the game, it was a very entertaining game. And the first half was a bit iffy, but I would understand that Portsmouth would have done their research, and Jacket would understand that the style or the style of football that Arteta would come with, and understand exactly how to nullify whichever areas which would be our strong points. And he did that very well in the first half, but you could understand and you could definitely see that it took a toll on his players, in which they got fatigued going to the end of the first half. But initially, the entire first half was a very hard, intense and pressing ball game, very aggressive as well. Now, it was very good for the young guys to have played a game like this. So it was basically boys against men, but the only reason why the boys really triumphed was because of their technical ability, not just by the name of the club, but because of their own talent and technical ability, because it was a very rigid and rough game. And you can also see from the first tackle that was put in on Lucas Torreira, in which he had to limp off the field. No, stretch. He came off on a stretcher. So you know that it's a very physical and rigid match. But as the second half proceeds, you realize that fatigue came into the legs of the Portsmouth players, and since then Arsenal gained full control of the game, and basically it was smooth sailing from there on. Then when we got our first goal, it was particularly very easy, a very easy game. But moving in to the player ratings, starting in goal, Martinez. I love the fact that how Martinez really handled the ball. He's very quick on the counter. Whenever we receive the ball, he's always prompt to let go of the ball immediately. Not like Bert Leno, in which he take 1 or 2 minute touches, but in a sense Martinez really is very quick on the counter in regards to playing off the ball. So I'll give Martinez a 7. It wasn't really tested that much, but he had a very good game. Moving to the right back, Socrates. In the first half, that left link player, he had him on toast. I don't remember his name, but he had Socrates on toast. Each time he goes down the line, you definitely see Socrates out of position and struggling to cope with him. He had Socrates on a very good set of rings, having him going left and right and whipping those balls inside the box. Initially at first half, I definitely thought that Socrates would be the first change to be made, but Arteta kept going with him, and a result of that, he was the one who scored the opening goal. And I don't believe that he's a natural right back. He's definitely a centre back, but I believe that because of his pace, he can be substituted as a right back. Now, Reece Nelson is not the type of player in which trap backs a lot sometimes, but you need a defensive structure to be held behind Reece Nelson, so I strongly that would be the reason, the particular reason why Socrates would be the one playing at right back. But initially I will give Socrates a 7 out of 10. Moving to the right centre back, which would be David Luiz. He had a very good game. He was basically man of the match. I'm not sure why, but he got man of the match. He had a very solid game, and I give that David Luiz 8, very commanding also. Now moving to the new signing, his first appearance for the first team, Pablo Mari. He had a very good game, a progressive game, and I've seen a few things in which can convince me that he's ready, but maybe not fitness wise, but he is ready on the technical ability wise. And for his debut, I'll give Pablo Mari an 8. Now moving to the left back, Saka. This young man has been playing very well throughout the season, and he continues to supersede all his expectations and go beyond and above whatever task he's been given. And I really do enjoy his performance. He had a very good game, even though Portsmouth would have realized that he would have been a threat. So I could see that in the first half they were trying their best to nullify him. And each time he would receive the ball, you'd see two of the Portsmouth attackers would close him down as fast as possible, as quick as or as early as possible, to stop him from getting in his momentum. But he had a very good game. I'll give Saka a 7. Moving to the midfield pairing, Lucas Torreira and Mati Guendouzi. Now Torreira came off early, so I'll give him basically a 5. He had a very hard injury in which a rigid tackle was made on him, but it was very clean, but rigid and aggressive. And as I said, these guys were from League One, so they are used to the aggressive and physicality of these type of games, and this is how they play, and that is something that these young men should expect. Now moving to the next midfield pair, which will be Guendouzi, and he had a fairly good game. Take 1 or 2 minute touches, but overall he had a very good game, and I give Mati Guendouzi a 7. Moving to the attacking trio, which would be started on the right, Reece Nelson, which is my man of the match, in which he had a very good game. Now he's been knocking on the first team door for a while now, but it's very hard because his competitors are very good players, such are Nicolas Pepe, Martinelli. So he has very high competition in that spot, but he's very talented, and you can see where he is coping well, training well, and progressing in his strides. And I give Reece Nelson a 9 out of 10 performance for his performance. Sorry. And moving to the central attacking midfielder, which is Joe Willock. No, he didn't have a very good game. It was quite a poor performance from Joe Willock, but he showed his presence. Whenever he could drive forward with the ball, you would see him doing that. But I strongly believe that he has to work out his balance, because he falls over quite too often. I'm not sure what the problem, if it's footwear or what, but it tends to go over quite a few times, more than so. Moving to the I give Joe Willock a 6, basically a standard performance, possibly below average. I'll give him a 5. Now moving to the left side, Martinelli. This young man had a very good game. Now this is the young man that we've been crying out for to start in the first team. We keep on shoehorning all the players in the attacking 4 just to facilitate Alexander Lacazette. But it's now time for this young man to walk in the first team and be the first name on that team sheet. He had a very good game, very commanding, and each time he receives the ball and going forward, you can sense a threat and you can sense danger. And the opposition, the defenders, they definitely don't like him. Each time he receives the ball, their first intent is to get him on the floor, and that spells something. But he had a very good performance, and I'll give Martinelli an 8. Up front, Eddie Nketiah. No, Nketiah has a very good game. In essence, his ball playing, he has grown tremendously on that. His first touches, his move up, his movement, his hold up play, they're now very good. They're very I would say now you'd put it in a sense in which when someone is making a progress, is progressing so good that it's quite alarming, because you're not expecting someone to move that quick in whatever they do. So they exceed your expectations. Right now I believe that Arteta is also exceeding his own expectations, and also expectations of even the coach himself. And now he's making it a difficult task for Mikel Arteta between Eddie Nketiah and Alexander Lacazette, because the things Eddie is doing right now, we fail to see it coming from Alexander Lacazette. But for the moment, Nketiah, I will give him an 8 out of 10 performance for his performance. Now, overall, it was a very good game, and initially you would understand that the first half would definitely be an intense game. It's just for us to cope with the pressure, because these guys are no walkovers. They are very consistent in the League One. Even though it's 2 tiers down, they're still a team to be reckoned with. Now, thank you very much again for tuning in. This is the Military Gooner, and thank you for watching the content. Thank you for subscribing, and please share and enjoy. Like and comment. We'll see you again next time.